always on the job. I got 5 Let's Talk. As always, it's real talk, raw talk. And it's that time again to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend. Share, like, and subscribe. Welcome to another episode of I Got 5 Let's Talk. Today's topic, Charlie Kirk, transgenderism. Could it be the thing that got him killed? Who killed him? And could it be the transgender bigwigs? Those that push for a transgender community. Those that push for this. Now, some people, give me a real quick second. I gotta get some water real quick. Hold on. Alrighty, back like Spidey, man. Today content gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. And it's for information and knowledge purposes, religious purposes. I ain't trying to get banned speaking on this subject, but it always seems to get me in a little bit of whoop-de-doo with the Instagram, the YouTube peoples, right? So today, I want to make clear it's not about bashing. It's not about homophobia. This is from a religious standpoint. We all tend to say that we believe in God, even though some of us fall short of the glory. But one thing people love to tell you is that all sin is the same. All sin ain't the same. If man can tell me I'm getting a different amount of time because I robbed somebody instead of killing somebody or hurting somebody, if humans could differentiate between crime, okay, man, vehicular manslaughter, he didn't mean to kill the person, but he killed the person, so we gonna give him some time. Your time for vehicular manslaughter is not gonna be the same time that you get for murder. You're not gonna get the same time for straight out murder. You're not gonna get 5 years if you had ill intentions to go kill somebody. So if the Jew, excuse me. If the judicial system can differentiate between crime, why and how come they tell you God can't? People love to, when debating transgenderism, they love to debate nonsense. Oh, will you smoke weed? Oh, will you rob people? Oh, will you pimp people? Oh, you steal cars? It's always something being thrown around when especially with religion. As soon as you tell somebody, oh man, you ain't supposed to do this and do that. Oh, well, what about you doing this? And then it comes down to, is sin the same for all sin? And if man can differentiate between sin, so shall God be able to, right? So me being a Muslim smoking weed, I'm not going to get the same punishment that somebody is going to get for chopping their body parts off. I'm not going to get that same punishment. It says it in the Bible and in the Quran. Yes, it says don't deface your body. You know, tattoos. Don't chop off parts of your body. Why would he say don't chop off parts of your body? Because God is the all-knowing, the all-seeing, the all-forbearing, all-knowledgeable. He knew people was going to come a time when people was going to start doing this sick shit. He knew that. So he said don't do it. But in order to understand who killed Charlie Kirk, you got to understand who created transgenderism. Everybody say somebody takes it too far. Oh, well, you know, weed the gateway drug, right? Well, being gay is the gateway thing to going full transgender. We can go back and forth, but you can't compare cutting off body parts to other sin. So in order to find out where transgender and how did it become so popular, gotta know where it came from.
July 6th, 1919, German physician Magnus Hirschfeld established the Institute for Sexual Sciences. Hirschfeld, who is queer, had been an advocate for those who transgress gender and sexual norms for decades, and he based much of his activism off of anti-colonial struggles. And so Hirschfeld resolved to create a library by, for, and about people who did not abide by fixed and binary norms of gender and sexuality. The Institute served as a professional and personal space, and Hirschfeld lived there with his longtime partner, Karl. The Institute's existence was enabled in part by the relatively tolerant atmosphere of Weimar Germany, and the Nazis eventually burned the Institute to the ground, along with the singular, self-authored archive of queer existence. Hirschfeld was also Jewish, was exiled from Germany, and eventually settled in France, where he died in 1935. In spite of the regime's efforts to destroy the Institute, it remains an iconic example of queer community and power building. I'm Eric Servini, and that was a sip of history. On July 6th...
Now, the cool thing about that is, I guess this guy's queer, but he's a part of the community. You know? But, again, let's dissect this. This one, now, I'm going to pause it around this part.
In 1919, German physician Magnus Hirschfeld established the Institute for Sexual Sciences.
Magnus Hirschfeld is the father and founder of transgenderism. Who is he? He's an Ashkenazi Jew.
Who is queer, had been an advocate for those who transgress gender and sexual norms for decades.
He was queer and transgressed. That means you're going beyond all bounds and limitations of what you're supposed to be doing. He built a science up for people to chop off their body parts to feel good about themselves. If I don't feel good about myself, I work out. Oh, so this is something you can't work out. This is a mental condition. That's why it's called the science of sexual science. Because in order for you to look normal, I have to believe in this catastrophic bullshit.
And he based much of his activism off of anti-colonial struggles. And so Hirschfeld...
How do you base transgenderism off of anti-colonial agendas? They're throwing shit in the pot and calling it gumbo. And this guy right here who pretty much is gay. Why are you gay? This nigga, he's not understanding what he's putting out there. If you're gay, to transgress all bounds means to be what? Transgender.
Resolved to create a library by, for, and about people who did not abide by fixed and binary norms of gender and...
Right, binary norms. So if you're not going to do the normal thing, you're going to be abnormal, which means not normal. Something is wrong with you. Something is going on upstairs to where you sitting back and you saying, well, fuck it, I know this is something that's beyond me, but I'm going to do it anyway. How do you say, oh, I believe in God, but want to cut your titties off to become a man, Brittany Griner? I don't care how much three-pointers how many bitches you back down in the paint, Brittany. You not Paw. You not gonna be a man. You never gonna be a man. When people get stuck in the form of transgenderism, they have lost all connection and concentration to God. For that moment. That makes them do that, they lost. How can you sit up here and say God is the best, but then you sit up here and say, oh, well, God made a mistake with me? God can't be the best. He can't be. Because if he was the best, then he never would have made a mistake with you. He wouldn't have made no mistake with you. Some people have to go through, some people's mental state ain't up to par like everybody else's. Your shit my shit may not be up to par, nigga, to, you feel me, to be a psychiatrist and deal with everybody's problems and go, I'm already dealing with mental shit. So I'm going to take your mental shit and, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Why? My mental ain't that strong.
Yes, baby.
So, at what point
I told her 1 second.
do you say,
1 second.
I need to find God?
I said 1 second.
But it's people out here that want to push this agenda of transgenderism that don't believe in God. They God that they believe in is really a nigga racist. They got actually racist. They say, oh, you know what I'm saying? God only chose us to go to heaven. Well, why don't you go to sleep every night praying that you die then? Tell me why the Jews, the Zionist Jews, don't do that. Why they don't go to sleep every night praying to die, since God only chose them to be the special people. If God only chose them, why they not praying for death? Why they not committing suicide bombings? Because they full of shit. These are the same people that's going around the world taking over institutes, banks, governments, toppling regimes, orchestrating all type of shit behind the scene to come out to transgenderism. Homophobia. Homophobia? How can I have homophobia if I don't want your kids, nigga, teach, I don't want you weird people teach.